Okay guys, Swiss Moist Dilani Python dinada sana. I remember that once I uploaded a demo video about how you can transfer data from PHP socket client to Python socket server. The idea was from one of my friend who is machine learning engineer who were trying to deploy machine learning model from PHP web application. So what he did, he created a PHP web application. Then after, he had the machine learning model running in the background of Python socket server. So the requests were being sent from PHP socket client to Python socket server. So this is all about how you can do this, because in my previous session I covered how you can create Python client socket and Python socket server. So I'll actually not write everything from the scratch for the case of PHP socket server. What I'll write from the scratch is the PHP, because the Python socket server were covered. So keep on watching, get ready, fire up your mind, get a cup of coffee, and let's go. But if it's the first time for you to watch out my channel, not forget to subscribe so as you can be timely updated once we upload a new video. So keep on watching and let's go. As I told you that I once uploaded a demonstration video on how you can send data from current PHP socket to server Python socket. Okay, it was actually an amazing video. So people were putting comment below the video like, hey mister, upload the source code, share the source code, but let us end this story on this session. So in this session we are going to cover how you can implement that, sending data from client socket in PHP to the server socket in Python. As I told you that I was much interested to do this because there were a certain machine learning engineer who deployed his machine learning model over the Python socket server. Because he had a PHP application, so he was actually sending the request from his PHP web application by using PHP client socket to Python socket server where he deployed his model. And just to remind you that in my previous tutorial I actually lectured how you can create Python client socket and a Python server socket. Saying so, I'll actually not code everything from the scratch, but actually when we speak about the Python server socket. So what I'll actually do here is just putting an explanation, okay, of how this Python socket server works. Okay, I'll explain for you line by line. But on PHP, what we'll actually do is coding from the scratch. So let me open up this server py. I actually coded it in my previous tutorial. Okay. So here, as you can see, this is, we import socket. After importing socket, here we have socket.socket, and here you can see we have socket.af underscore inet. This is IPv4 family, and here we have socket.sockstream. This specifies TCP. So this is our host. Okay, we have actually specified the IP address, and this is the port. So here we bind our socket. Okay, we bind the host and the port to the socket. This means that our socket will be using IP, which is localhost, and the port 12345. After that, we start listening on our socket server with a maximum concurrent connection of 5. After that, we just print the message, okay, to the end user that the server is listening on host, okay, which is localhost and the port 1235. So what follows is this is an infinity loop which will actually be running, okay, as the computer is powered on, okay, and nothing has been distracted or disturbed from the program. So what we do here, we accept the connection from the client, okay, and the server.socket server underscore socket dot accept, it will return to object which is client socket and address. So this client socket will be used to communicate back to the client, and this is IP address. Okay, so this is the object we can receive the data and we can send the data to our client. So after accepting the connection, you can see here we print the message that got the connection from address this. Okay, this is address. Then after here, this is client underscore socket dot receive. We actually receive the data from the client and we decode from bytes to string. After decoding, we display the message or the data received from the client. Then after we send the data back to the client, as I told you that this will be used to read the data, then after to send the data to the client. So here we send the message, but before we send the message, that message received by the server, we encode the message, okay, from string to bytes. Then after we cross the connection. So this were coded in my previous tutorial. So here what we are actually going to do is we are going to implement the client, PHP client, which will be sending the request to Python, okay, socket server. So before we proceed, make sure you have a PHP, okay, path added to your environment variable. And once you type PHP, okay, space -v, you can see this is actually my version of PHP. Okay, I am telling you that I am actually telling you this because we will need to run the PHP script from our VS Code command. But also before we proceed, there is something very interesting. Okay, so there is a way to enable PHP socket, okay, in php.in. If you get something wrong, I don't remember when I enabled my I enabled the socket in my PHP. So let's go. So I don't know, actually, as I've told you that, or if you get something wrong, but you actually need to confirm. So if we put this, means that we have disabled the socket in PHP. So you need to remove this comment. Okay, for me it's okay. I don't even remember when I enabled this extension. Okay, extension of sockets in PHP. So let's go as normal as usual. Okay, this is PHP and we are developers. So what we have done here is we define, okay, we define the host for our socket server and the port. Okay, if I take you back to server py file, you can see this is the host and this is the port. as normal as usual as what was happening on a PHP. So this is IPv4. Okay, then after this standing for TCP. Okay, the sock stream TCP. So here we actually try to see, okay, as I told you that this line create socket, okay. So here this is just a condition check to see if we have managed to create a socket or we have failed, okay. So before proceeding, I am very curious of running this. Okay, so here we can split. As I told you that you need to add the PHP to your environment variable of your Windows. Okay. Okay. Before we start trying this, let us run our socket server. Perfect. You can see we get the message that the socket created. Okay. So what we want to achieve here, we created the socket. Okay. So what we are actually trying to do here is we are trying to connect it to the socket. Okay. So if we will get the error, we need to just display the error. Okay. Error. Oh Jesus. So and else we can copy this. We can say socket connected. Okay. Let us try to run. That's perfect. You can see we have created the socket and we are able to connect. So after creating the socket and after ensuring that we can connect to this actually check the length of the string after sending, okay, socket and underscore right, this will send the socket, then after socket underscore read will read the response from the server, okay, by using socket, the object or the socket object we have created in PHP. Then after we display the response from the server, okay, here from this, let me modify the message, hello from PHP client, and here we can say message received by Python socket server. Okay, this is perfect. Here we can say message from PHP socket client. After that, I am very sure that we are good to go. We can run once again our PHP script. Okay, okay, that's perfect. Okay, we can see here receive the hello from PHP socket client, and here we get a message received by server. This was because, okay, this was because we made changes when the PHP socket server were running. So if we split this, and here we type server py, okay, perfect, and here we say PHP client .php. Okay, it is cranty. Perfect. You can see received hello from PHP socket grant, and here message received by Python. Okay, Python. Forgive me, by Python socket server. So this actually sum up the end of this tutorial on how you can send data from PHP socket grant to Python server, Python socket server. Okay, I think this is enjoyable. What is your experience when dealing with socket? Is it secure? Is it a best way to implement real time in different protocol? Where do you use a socket in your programming life? Okay, before we end up, don't forget to like, put comment, share, and subscribe so as you can be timely updated on every Tuesday when we upload a new video. Okay, on top of that, before I close up this session, let me thank you in 9 different international languages. Thank you so much. Asante sana. Muchas gracias. Muito obrigado. Merci beaucoup. Kamza Hamida, Aita, Danke, Denawad. Thank you. Keep on watching. I hope to see you in my coming tutorials.